Good afternoon. Hello, welcome. Come on, can I have a hello? You know, if you don't participate now, it's going to feel even longer later on. Okay. Today is Monday, February 8th, 2016, and at this time, I call to order the City of Palm Springs Human Rights Commission. I will ask if you will all please stand for the flag salute. Leading us in the flag salute today is our student representative from Palm Springs High School, Angelina Pinckney.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our fabulous Vice Chair, Jack Newby, is going to read the mission statement of the Human Rights Commission.
Thank you. The mission of the Palm Springs Human Rights Commission is to promote and protect the diversity of our community and to improve human relations through education and community awareness.
Thank you, Jack. Every commission of the city has a staff liaison. Our staff liaison is Lee Bono. She works hard and doesn't get enough appreciation, and she will now do the roll call and the posting of the agenda.
Chair Wilson Barton.
Here.
Vice Chair Newby.
Here.
Commissioner Carazaro.
Here.
Commissioner Chandrasini.
Here.
Commissioner Chappelle.
Here.
Commissioner Hunt is not with us today. She's excused. Commissioner Rankins.
Present.
Commissioner Severin.
Present.
And Commissioner Sutton Weiss is also excused. Student Representative Angelina Pinckney.
Here.
The agenda for today's meeting was posted according to the Brown Act on or before 4 p.m. on February 4th.
Thank you, Lee. Now we set aside time for public comments. This is when the citizens have a right to come and speak. We do hold you to a time limit, but if anybody would like to do public comments today, you can come to this microphone here. Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, I'm Trey Daniel, and I just received word today, and I want to inform the committee that the City Council of Palm Springs will be discussing a petition to consider renaming Crossley Road and Golf Club Drive Lawrence Crossley Road at the regular scheduled meeting on Wednesday, February 17th. I would like to ask for the Commission's support, and I know you've given so much support in the past and have appreciated everyone speaking. As we are all aware, this is Black History Month, and Lawrence Crossley is one of the true pioneers of Palm Springs and a true pioneer within the African American community. So I think it's particularly appropriate that this name change consideration does come up at this time, and that we would have an opportunity to honor the contributions of Mr. Crossley and the African American community, both in Palm Springs and nationally, at this time with renaming the road. I would also just like to make one other comment, and that's with regard to the fact that in 2016, the theme for Black History Month is Hallowed Grounds, Sites of African American Memories, and that the history of the African American unfolds across the canvas of America, beginning before the arrival of the Mayflower. And what it is really honoring is the communities that the African Americans have had within the country in this particular time. And by renaming this road, Lawrence Crossley Road, it will truly honor the communities and the African American community within the city of Palm Springs. Thank you, and I appreciate your support and look forward to continued support.
Thank you. Any other public comments at this time? Okay, then I'll turn my timer off. Okay. So this is the part we've been waiting for. This is really why you're all here, because I haven't actually seen any of you at the monthly meetings, just so you know. And I am taking attendance from here on out. So listen, welcome. This is the 2016 City of Palm Springs Human Rights Commission. These are the city's Community Service Awards. I am Dee Dee Wilson Barton. I am the chair of this commission, and this is just the highlight event of the year. So really, if you're only going to come to one meeting a year, you did pick a good one to come to. And we're just very honored. This is something that the Human Rights Commission does on behalf of our city council, and we are honored to do this. This ceremony can actually sort of bring me to my knees because you hear a lot of news and you see a lot of things about maybe unfortunate things, and there's a lot of anger and frustration about things in our community. And this is 1 hour of good news. And it turns out that the good news in Palm Springs for this hour, the news is extraordinary. So I'm so glad you're here. I want to tell you a little bit about the Human Rights Commission, and then I want to tell you a little bit more, but it is kind of hot, so I'll try and talk quickly. We are about education and advocacy. We do this in different ways. So we have a very dynamic mediation program. I don't know if any of you knew that. We send our commissioners as representatives to the LGBT Police Task Force, the city's new task force on homelessness. There's a committee called CDBG, which is about federal grant money and where that's distributed to those of our neediest friends and neighbors. And you know, that makes me think a little bit just about, want to digress for a moment about homelessness. Here's an issue that everybody's concerned about. We all want it to be better. Sometimes we're scared, sometimes we feel really powerless, sometimes we're judgmental. And I want to tell you what helps. What helps is taking part in solutions. So the city, actually the whole country does a homeless count. And the Riverside County did the homeless count at the end of January. And some of the commissioners and some of the people here in the audience today signed up to be part of this one-day homeless count. And I have to tell you, I was in a team, and you go out, you're given a little map, and you just go out and you have little goodie bags, and you just go out and you ask people whether or not they were sheltered the night before, and then you ask them a series of questions. And here's what was shocking. Every single person that my team interviewed was either mentally ill or struggling with drug addiction. And on top of that, almost half of them were veterans. And they were all so willing and engaged, and they wanted to share their stories. And that kind of inspired my family. My daughters are here today, both of them. And so we went home and we made some bag lunches, and we just went out in the car because and handed them out at Sunrise Park, because I want my daughters, Maddie and Chloe, to learn that we all have to take care of each other. And that is really what today is about. Today is honoring people who chose to sort of go out of their way and take care of somebody else. So to our mayor and to our city council, please know that the two of you that are here today, city council person Jeff Kors and our mayor Robert Moon, that you've taken the helm of a city that was at the historical forefront of recognizing human rights. We were one of the few communities that had a commission in 1992. For 24 years, the city of Palm Springs has made human rights a priority. Up until now, we were the only city of all the 9 Coachella Valley cities that had a Human Rights Commission. Then we started working with Cathedral City, and they are starting a commission. And one of our awardees today is starting a Human Rights Commission in Desert Hot Springs. So this is Palm Springs being at the forefront. To the City Council, we are a place for you to focus on access and pathways to leadership. Let's get all members of the community involved. Everybody here is entitled to a voice, and your neighbor next door, next to you at work, they are also all entitled to have a voice. And look, we need more access and leadership opportunities for people who need bus passes, childcare, or a translator. There are 15 commissions in this city and a whole bunch of openings on all of them. So everybody here has an opportunity to be part of. And when you're part of, you feel less powerless, less scared, and less judgy. So to everybody here today, this is your moment. This commission that I've had the pleasure to be part of, we have focused on issues such as homelessness, religious intolerance, women's issues, human trafficking, immigration. I know it sounds like a long laundry list, but if you think about looking at issues of youth or children in education, that touches everything. Hunger, homelessness, poverty, human trafficking, religious intolerance, all those things are playing out in our schools. You want to look at issues that have to do with our elder community, same issues. So there are different lenses with which we are looking at the issues that really impact everybody. I want to just take a minute to say I am proud of this commission, and this year we have always done a good job with LGBT, but like I said, we have expanded to all these other things: religious intolerance, women's issues, human trafficking. But this year we are really putting the T in LGBT, and I'm proud of us for that too. And I do want to just take a minute. This is a little sad minute. And I do want to talk about the fact that our community lost a great human rights activist this year, and that is George Zander, who lived in Palm Springs for more than 20 years. He was Equality California's field organizer for 7 years, and he spent 3 years working alongside the Trans Community Project. Many of you know him. He was just a real leader in local politics. And he passed away this year after being the victim of a hate crime here in our own community. That's really a tough moment. And I believe coming together today is how we start to make that better. Jeff Kors said, when George came to work for Equality California, he brought such talent and energy to his work to help advance marriage equality, ensure health care, and provide a safer environment for our LGBT students. His work to advance social justice will long be remembered. George has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and we just take this moment to say, George, you will be missed. We are 9 members that make up this commission. There is myself, I am the chair. There is Jack Newby, our vice chair. There is Wes Rankins, Denise Chappelle, Eduardo Carriazo, Suzanne Severin, Joseph Chandrasena, and our student rep from the high school, Angelina Pinkney. We have 2 other commissioners, Janelle Hunt and Deborah Sutton-Weiss. We are the only commission of all the commissions in Palm Springs that invite 2 student reps, one from the middle school and one from the high school, to serve. We take pride in the fact that we are training future leaders right here on this commission in our city. And listen, I just want you to know you can come to us for help. This mediation program is really a fantastic thing. Do your neighbors' dogs bother you? Do you have fence issues, trash, noise? Actually, some of my neighbors are here today, but they will remain nameless. Guess what? You can come to our mediation program. Mediation solves 80% of these problems without going to court, without getting in a huge fight with somebody. Look, if we'd won the Super Lotto, we probably could have solved other issues that you have, but for now, know that we are here for you in that way. And let me just tell you as I come to a close today that we are a commission who loves a parade. So come see us. We're in the Pride Parade, the Black History Parade, the Veterans Parade, and we're actually here to listen to you. Though, don't really talk to us during the parade. We're very busy having a good time. I am proud to live in a city that welcomes everyone. We are women and men, cisgender and gender nonconforming. In our family, we are gender fluid as well. We are LGBTQIA. We practice different faiths, or we practice none at all. We are families, we are couples, we are single people, we are in great health, we are facing the challenges of being limited in our bodies, we are fat, we are thin, some of us have homes, some of us live subjected to the elements, some of us are older, Some of us are younger. Some of us are struggling. Some of us are very well off. We are racially diverse. We are immigrants. We are victims. We are survivors. This is the city of Palm Springs, and this is human rights. Go ahead, that was it. At this time, I would like to welcome our Mayor, Robert Moon. We are really excited to have him help give out the Community Service Awards this year.
Thank you. It's really an honor to be here today. You notice I don't have a speech in my hand, but I did want to say a couple of things. I've been mayor for 2 months and 1 week, but this is really a tremendous honor to be here and do this today, along with my fellow council member Jeff Kors here in the audience. I was born in 1949 and grew up in Arkansas, where my family had been for 200 years. And I remember back in 1957, I can remember it like it was yesterday, although it was almost 60 years ago. I can remember watching on TV and seeing Daisy Bates and the Little Rock Nine. And it was, those of you who are my age may remember this, but this is when they were going to integrate the schools. Can you imagine? I grew up in a Jim Crow world where there was white water fountains, colored waiting rooms, white waiting rooms. It's inconceivable today, but I saw that in my lifetime. And in that time, I remember with Daisy Bates, and I remember seeing on television Orville Faubus, who was the governor of Arkansas, called out the National Guard to stop these 9 young people from integrating Central High School. And the President Eisenhower he then federalized the State National Guard. And then Daisy Bates, she had a newspaper in Little Rock, and she's the one who led this. She led the resistance, and they got these children into Little Rock High School, and the rest was history. So I lived through that, and I can remember my mother telling me over and over as we were watching this on television, "Rob, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong." So it's really important that all of us, when we see these things, especially if we have children or friends, we see this, we have to say, this is wrong, this is wrong. We have to keep telling ourselves and telling other people when we see injustices, this is wrong, just like my mother did. And then I graduated from Annapolis in 1972, and I was a naval officer for 22 years. I retired in 94. But in 1981, I met my now husband, who we've now been together for 35 years. And from 1981 to 1994, we lived before Don't Ask, Don't Tell, during a time when if they suspected that I was gay, I would have been thrown out and lost everything, especially a career that I loved very much. And fortunately, I had a husband, then a partner, who was very supportive. But I see what's happened since then. I mean, I can remember Central High in 1957, but yet I've lived long enough to see a black man become elected and re-elected President of the United States. I mean, that is in tremendous progress. In the military, although I had to fight and hide to stay in the military all those years, now the Servicemen's Legal Defense Fund, which I supported for many years, I saw an email the other day where they now have a gay and lesbian midshipman organization at the Naval Academy. I mean, and my husband, who I used to have to hide for 13 years, now has a military ID card because we are legally married. I mean, the tremendous steps we've made in my lifetime. And I'm old, but I'm not that old. But the point here is 2 points. One, I'm very proud of these people that we're recognizing today, because they are the kind of leaders who have made all this happen. They are the kind of leaders that we need more of to make sure things keep happening. Because as long as we see things like George and Chris Zander being attacked on the streets on Arenas in Palm Springs, as long as we see discrimination of people because they're Native American, because they're African American, because they're gay, because they're lesbian, because they're anything but what the other person thinks they should be, we still have a fight on our hands, so we have to keep going. So I'm very proud of all these people today. I'm very proud of Palm Springs. I'm very proud of this commission for all the great work you do, and I'm very proud to be able to be honored to take part in this today. So thank you very much.
Suzanne.
I'd like Commander Brian Card to come to the stage, please. Of course. A wonderful community center, a generous organization, and a most deserving awardee. We're here to honor Owen Kaufman, American Legion Post 519, who has a dedicated history of appreciating and serving the people that preserve our freedoms. The American Legion continues to demonstrate its extraordinary volunteer service organization, including the tireless contributions of its members, the Veteran Services Officer, the Ladies Legionnaire Auxiliary, and the Legion Riders. Many of you folks are here today, so thank you. Taking action and responding to veterans' questions, being that critical resource. Food drives, fundraisers, donations, support, educational programs, it goes on and on. Participation in numerous community events, including Color Guard, parades, and tributes all around the Coachella Valley, and reminding us of our brave and special veterans, active service members, and fallen heroes. It's our honor to honor you. Congratulations.
I understand I can only speak for 45 minutes, so I'll try to make it quick. Actually, there's a couple people here I would like to recognize. We have the Legion Rider President, Richard Morales, who's in the back room. Would you stand up, Richard, please? This past Christmas, Richard's organization came up with over 2,000 toys for children that otherwise would not have had toys at Christmas. That was pretty awesome. Also, Leslie Vondra is here, who is the president of our auxiliary. I don't think Doc Lieberman could make it. He had another commitment, but Dr. Daniel Lieberman is our vet services officer, and I have to tell you, he works almost full-time, tirelessly, with trying to come up with solutions for veterans. Unfortunately, as Dee Dee said, about half of the homeless in Palm Springs are veterans, which is really pretty sad. And we get calls almost daily to try to come up with solutions, and we do the best we can. One final thing I'll tell you is the American Legion here in Palm Springs has been around since 1939, trying to help the community. So anyway, thank you very much.
As we give this, I'd like to say that I am very proud to be a member of the American Legion, Post 519, because I did serve in wartime. And it's great to see what you do for our servicemen, particularly those who come back with the post-traumatic stress disorder and others who just need to know what their rights are. So thank you for helping in our community.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Thomi Clinton, come on up, sweetheart. And bear with us, because we are trying to get a photo op at the end of each moment. Thomi Clinton, just a couple of years ago, our local transgender community had it super rough. Not that it's easy now, but those transgender, intersex, and gender non-conforming people who were low income had no access to health care. Many were living in their cars. Unemployment was double the norm, and as we know, the norm isn't a present to start with. There was harassment and violence was increasing. The percentage of suicide attempts in this population was staggering. Thomi took this to heart. She became a volunteer with the Department of Justice and also with the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, where she helped to implement policies to protect LGBTQI persons. She also trains staff at homeless shelters to be transgender inclusive, and she is the founder and president of the Transgender Community Coalition. Thomi's efforts have been nonstop. She is aggressive in her attempt to integrate transgender people. Our community is receiving national attention, and more people are moving to Palm Springs because it has a reputation as a safe and a welcoming place. The Desert Sun just named Thomi one of the most influential women in the Coachella Valley. Woohoo! But we'd already picked her for this award first. Thomi also adopts animals. She adopts a lot of animals. We're talking like a farm here, but that's actually another award for a different organization. So with that, let me say welcome, Thomi Clinton.
Well, I'm really sweating. I just want to thank everyone. I just want everyone just to remember the T. We still got a long ways to go. I will admit that we have only about 5 trans people left that need jobs. Our last homeless trans woman that was staying in a shelter just has a job, and she's got her own apartment. So we're using this information to really share with nationally to maybe change things. And I think Palm Springs is probably one of the best places to live, especially with Mayor Moon here. He's the only man that I can actually sit down and dinner with and talk about gender reassignment surgeries and skinning a squirrel from Arkansas. So, you know, he can handle a lot on his plate. It was a great test. But thank you very much.
And Jeff might want to say something too, but I want to say it's been such a pleasure getting to know Thomi. She's one person you don't say no to. And I think that the T in her stands for terrific and tireless, because she talks about how there's so few transgendered people in the city now who don't have jobs or don't have a place to live. That's largely because she personally has had a hand in it. She has personally gone out there and found them jobs. She's personally talked to people and gotten them to hire them. And I know it's really hard to say no to her. I've learned that already. So thank you, Thomi.
They're just in the house.
Should I slip it in here?
Our student rep, Angelina.
Hello, can I have Angela Ellen please come up? Allen, sorry, from Olive Crest. Child abuse is a crime that knows no boundaries. It occurs in all social classes, cultures, and creeds, and very sadly has reached alarming proportions in the U.S. and around the world. For over 40 years, Olive Crest has been committed to keeping children safe, breaking the cycle of abuse, and preserving the family. They do this invaluable work by providing safe homes, counseling, education, and other treatment and prevention resources. Olive Crest has transformed the lives of over 70,000 abused, neglected, and at-risk children and their families. We are so pleased to honor Olive Crest today.
Thank you. Honorable Mayor, City Council, and Commission members, thank you so much for this award on behalf of our Board of Trustees, which 2 of them are here today. If you could please stand, Roger Johnson and Doug Lang. On behalf of our Board of Trustees and myself and our leadership, we truly are honored for this award. To echo the words of our mayor here, that the abused and neglected and abandoned children is wrong. And we consider it a complete and total honor and privilege every day. And as Angelina had mentioned, over 40 years, working to strengthen families, working to heal families through the power of the healing power of family is really what our motto is. Family can do a lot. A safe, loving home can do a lot for the children that are very much in need. And in this community, in the desert communities, we have actually doubled in the past. We've been out here for about the last 12 years, and in the last 2 years, we've almost doubled our presence out here, working with families that are in the system, out of the system, doing prevention and treatment and education of at-risk children. And we're just very privileged and honored that we can do it with the community support here in Palm Springs. So thank you very much.
Commissioner Eduardo.
Good afternoon, everyone. May I please have Dimitri Hakidis join us here? We're very happy and we're very thrilled to have Dimitri Hakidis here. We would like to recognize his contributions to the community. Dimitri Hakidis is the founder of Boo to Bullying, Inc. Dimitri works tirelessly to educate students and faculty alike across the Coachella Valley, but in particular here in Palm Springs. He has set up counseling groups in schools as well and collaborates with law enforcement to educate and to instill sensitivity. He has also received recognition in the past from the Palm Springs Unified School District and at a city council meeting here earlier in the year, when he and his students appeared and spoke. He is tireless in his efforts, and as well as the young people he has inspired. So, thank you.
Wow. Thank you to Mayor, City Councilman. Wow is like, wow, am I here? I can't believe it. Number one, I want to thank the community for embracing not only myself for coming here in 2009, but also, starting Buddha Bullying in 2011 was a big deal because a family member, a cousin, had died of anorexia. So as an artist and as a advocate, what can I do to make a difference? And I think, as much as I love animals and I support and I adopted, I think our kids of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And as we've heard, the statistics are really mind-blowing. When there's suicide is the third largest in our youth, and it's here in the Coachella Valley. 50% of our kids do not attend school, and on an overall, 130,000 kids don't go to school at all. That's really huge. So I want to thank a community that has really embraced Buddha Bullying. I'm really proud to be part of a philanthropic community, blessed to have known advocates like Desert AIDS Project, the Barbara Sinatra Children's Center, to name a few, Desert Arc, and just the volunteers in the community are just mind-blowing of the service they do. My parents are here. I want to thank my mom and dad, my brother. I don't want to cry. But I also thank you to my friends that have supported me through thick and thin, and we have a lot of more work to do, and I really appreciate the city for recognizing Buddha Bullying. Thank you to my board of directors and to all the volunteers and to our youth. Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner Jilska Chandrasena.
Good afternoon, everybody. Judy, could I have you here, please? Judy May is the founder of Insight, a nonprofit that is working very hard to change the landscape of populations living with disabilities. Every month, Insight hosts a breakfast for all the nonprofits in the area to collaborate and partner with each other. This has given the group a stronger voice and a more sustainable presence in our community. Judy, thank you for the wonderful work you do. that has, in the past, you have worked so hard to reach out to our disabled populations and have spent tireless hours reaching out to our wounded warriors. Thank you.
First, let me say I'd like to take credit for founding Insight, but it was actually founded by a former Palm Desert High School graduate, Vale Horton. Vale, did you make it? Not able to make it. He was in town, but he's on a tight schedule. I've been working with people with disabilities for more decades than I care to count. It's 4. 20 of those years were spent here in the desert. But it was just within the last few years that I came to realize what Insight means and what this commission means. When I met a woman by the name of Kara. Kara was a high school counselor in the Coachella Valley Unified School District. Beautiful woman, married, 2 kids, had her master's degree, and in a heartbeat, in a rollover accident on a field trip, she became a quadriplegic. And I met Kara when she came out to one of our wheelchair tennis clinics. And she engaged with us. She had gotten a little lost along the way. She was working on her doctorate, and that had kind of fallen to the wayside. And she was still figuring out who she was. She was driving again, but not going on freeways. That still intimidated her. And I asked Kara, I said, Kara, what's the hardest part about being in that chair? And she didn't hesitate. She said, getting used to people looking past me. And that's what this commission and Insight is about, is that we have to stop looking past people for whatever reason that is. Obviously, people with physical disabilities, you're going to see that, and you're going to become intimidated by it. But we have to learn to see the chair and move past that and look at the potential. Insight is about potential, about finding that potential in all of us to reconnect people to their lives. And I see it every day. And it comes sometimes in the least expected way, by putting someone on a bike, by putting them on the tennis courts, by sending a 10-year-old double amputee up a rock wall out in Joshua Tree. And I'm watching these lives just flourish. I'm not talking just to a community of people that you can physically see that are disabled. The Disability Club is one that any of us can belong to in a heartbeat, whether it's by illness or accident, or we simply age into it. I mean, how many of you are enjoying losing your vision? Hearing's not so good. We're all going down that road in one way or another, but life goes on, and that's what Insight is about. The founder of Insight, Vale Horton, was born with no legs. He's the most entrepreneurial man I know, creating Insight out of Portland and here as well. I have a couple people I want to specifically thank. This gentleman right here in the front row with the camera has contributed, whether you're aware or not, a lot to Palm Springs. In 2010, we wanted to increase the number of riders with disabilities in the Tour de Palm Springs. He and 3 other amputees came, and every year they've come back, and we now are closing in on about 200 riders with disabilities in the Tour de Palm Springs. And you, sir, are an honorary member because you rode in our pedicab in the opening ride. This young lady back here, Letitia, is a photographer. She comes to all of our events, as does Bill, and they have this vantage point down here way below where they can get great pictures and beautiful pictures. And she is, besides providing us with these beautiful, capturing these moments of our people with disabilities, she was somebody who came to me originally, and I met her through Desert Regional when we did hand cycling clinics. She was terrified. And we were only putting her on a trike. It wasn't like we were revving up and sending her down the road. And I've watched her self-confidence grow every time she gets involved in one of our activities. I've watched her backpedal when she doesn't, but she keeps moving forward, and she has rejoined us in life. I see a few people out here that, and you know who you are, people that have helped me along the way, colleagues, people who helped me start the organization, board members, affiliate agencies. Insight doesn't do this alone. This is about the community of people. I'm just the one opening the doors of opportunity, and for that, I thank all of you.
Commissioner Jack Newby.
Thank you, Dee Dee. Before I call up our next honoree, I just had spoke to Dee Dee and I said there were a few things I wanted to say as I near the end of my term on this commission. And when I started, it wasn't a very diverse commission. And I think if you see now, it is one of the most diverse commissions in the city of Palm Springs. And I think the only commission in the city of Palm Springs that has a woman as chair who has done an absolutely incredible job. So thank you, Dee Dee. And I'm proud to say that one of my goals when I came on the commission was to increase the diversity from what was mostly a gay white man commission, and that's what was needed at that time. But we've recognized that the needs and the issues that we need to look at have grown considerably in the city of Palm Springs. So I'm proud of that, and I'm proud of what our commission is doing, and I invite those of you in the audience when vacancies come up to apply. And with that, I'll invite Hank up, Hank Plant. It's my pleasure to introduce Hank. Emmy Award-winning reporter Hank Plant has covered California for 3 decades for television stations in San Francisco and Los Angeles. His awards have included several local and national Emmys, as well as the prestigious George Foster Peabody Award, which is broadcasting's equivalent to the Pulitzer Prize. As part of CBS 5's AIDS Lifeline reporting team, and that's what you received that award for. He has also been awarded the Pioneer Award at the GLAAD Media Awards, which is the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, and the James R. Harrison Award from the San Francisco AIDS Foundation. He was also named Reporter of the Year by the Associated Press and Chris Harris Award. Hank's community service has included work with the Human Rights Campaign, the Lambda Legal Defense Fund, GLAAD, Project Open Hand, and the San Francisco AIDS Foundation. He currently serves as a member of the editorial board of the Desert Sun and has been co-author of some incredible opinion pieces from the Desert Sun supporting human rights, marriage equality, you name it. And he served as host and moderator of several local events. So please join me in welcoming Hank Plant.
Thank you, Jack. Madam Chair and Commissioners, thank you. Mayor Moon, Councilman Kors, thank you very much. This means the world to me. Palm Springs is home, and I really, really appreciate it. And I want to congratulate my fellow honorees today. I'm in good company today. I think I was the first openly gay TV reporter in the country, at least one of the first. There's another guy in Boston. We have kind of a friendly feud over who was first, but I think I was the first. And one of the things I learned from that experience is that being gay made me a better reporter. Made me a better person, but made me a better reporter, more open to other people's differences, more respectful of diversity, more appreciative of the rainbow and how different we all are. And certainly when I first started covering AIDS way back before it had a name, the fact that I was out made it more than just a story to me. These were my friends who were dying. And getting sick, and it was a way for me to channel my anger and my grief, and to use my experience as a reporter for something positive, I think, and I think we made a difference. So anyway, that's all I've got. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
I just have to add a couple words because I've known Hank for a long time. He's actually a neighbor, but I'm so proud of this guy and what he's done. Hank proves that the pen is mightier than the sword. I mean, he won those 6 Emmys and that Peabody Award not for doing soft fluff pieces. He worked hard and he told the truth when the truth wasn't easy to tell. So Hank, for everything you've done, a journalist like you is what's helped us along this journey of human rights, and thank you so much. And hopefully you've got room on that wall full of awards to fit this on.
Commissioner Wes Rankins.
Hello, everyone. We're almost finished. I think today will be the shortest the commission has ever heard me speak because it's really hot. Tommy, you say you're hot, but you don't even want to know the places where I'm sweating. But I picked this jacket out like a month ago. February, cold. It's corduroy, but I was not going to not wear this jacket. This jacket is really cool. Okay. Just real quick, on what Jack said, look at this commission. We actually are missing two more commissioners, but you know the world has United Nations. We have this, and hopefully one day, really, really soon, this will be a true reflection of our city. It seems our mayor's on board, and the common theme I'm seeing right here. One thing about being a victim, it seems like it makes us all stronger. It makes us tolerant, it makes us understand, and it makes us not take it anymore. So everyone seems like they have been a victim, but reality is we've actually been victors because we stepped up to the plate and said, I'm not going to allow this to happen to anyone. I'm not going to allow this person to be this way, that way, and all that way. So everyone here should give themselves a hand. Oh, and Dimitri, I just want to let you know, I was back here watching your parents when you were getting your word. Man, you should have seen your mom smile. That was so, man, I was about to cry. I was like, if my mom can smile like that, right? All right, so better they be safe than we be sorry is the motto of our next award recipient. And so if I can have Mel Haber and Bridget Phillips, please. And as they're coming up here, of course, we love a parade and I love a stage, so I want to take this mic so bad. All right, so Safe House of the Desert with community support provides emergency shelter, intervention, and outreach services to youth in crisis. Safe House is dedicated to the protection of well-being children in crisis, providing emergency shelter and a secure haven for runaway, abandoned, and homeless children. Safe House is the leading organization working to stem the growing epidemic of child trafficking. That's not a lot of children on the freeway. This is a serious epidemic. If you don't know, Google it. We all have phones. They actually provide assistance to more than 800 children a year, helping them to make a new start in life. Safe House also serves as co-chair of the Riverside County Anti-Human Trafficking Task Force, ensuring comprehensive care to all trafficking victims, minors, adults, domestic, and foreign nationals. Safe House of the Desert.
Thank you so much on behalf of our clients, our staff, and our board. Thank you so much for giving us this award. Also, just to mention, Safe House of the Desert, it is a shelter for youth in crisis, and we would like, not only are we a runaway shelter or a shelter for youth in crisis, we also have a drug and alcohol program there, and we also have what's called Harrison House, and it's for 18 to 22 years of age. So it's for 18-year-olds to 22 who are homeless or going to be homeless, so they get to stay at our apartment up to 18 months for free. If you want to know more about us, please look us up on operationsafehouse.org. We do great work in our community, and unfortunately, human trafficking is here too in our beautiful Coachella Valley. It's everywhere, and that's what's really sad, but we are here to bring awareness to the community, and we work with these. We don't call them victims anymore, we call them survivors. So again, we thank you so much. Thank you.
I would just like to mention that the desert is the most giving and philanthropic area that I know of in the world. It's unbelievable with the amount of charities that do great work here. And I will tell you that Safe House ranks up amongst the best in this valley. And thank you for your support. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're almost there. Should we, how's everybody doing? Okay, anybody too cold? No. Okay, because this is winter in Palm Springs. Mark, come on up, my dear. This is Mark Walther. Hi. Here's what Mark is. Mark is somebody who works very quietly on behalf of human rights in Palm Springs. He's not a big limelight guy, though we do like each other anyway. And his efforts, often get overlooked. But he is really a voice for those who don't normally have a voice in our community. He's the chair for the Desert Highlands Estate Gateway Neighborhood Group. That's a really long name. I attend those meetings with Mark, and he is fabulous in giving everybody a voice. And boy, that's a community that needs to be heard, which is why the Human Rights Commission now attends those meetings to be part of giving that community a voice. He's part of the Palm Springs Neighborhood Involvement Committee. And, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of the Palm Springs neighborhood groups, let's just say these groups can be at least middle class when it comes to economic, educational, or social means, but not the case for Mark's neighborhood. And his nominator, Paula Auburn, wherever you are, bless you, you wrote the most beautiful, heartfelt nomination for Mark. She said, Mark is an ever-present and ever-effective voice of those less fortunate. So whether it is lobbying for low-income assistance with water and energy conservation measures, or coordinating with the police department for better community relations, or serving on the Community Development Block Grant, which, by the way, I serve on that with him, and he can be a little scary when he is making sure that we are spending our rare and few federal dollars to the best behest of the citizens that need it. I'm not afraid of him anymore, but I was a little bit in the beginning. Mark is always educating and advocating on behalf of his community. He is a retired member of the Air Force. He's involved with veterans issues and the American Legion, starting to see a theme here, everybody. But here's what really matters about Mark. Here's what you really need to know. He's the member of the Hoochie Coochie Blues Band. And that alone should entitle him for an award today. Mark?
I had this wonderful speech. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, and in 1969, our high school started a Human Rights Council in '69 because we thought back then it would be an important thing, and it was, and it started me on that track. Over the years, I learned to help one another be part of a bigger thing in life. When I got in the military, I did lots of different jobs. One of the neatest ones I did was I became a recruiter in the San Francisco Bay Area, of all places. And when the president came down and said, "Don't ask, don't tell will be invoked, and you're going to make this happen," they were at my door. And they were people that I'd already known that I honestly was trying to push through ahead of time already, because I already knew that. And it was important to me because now they were going to get recognition and they were going to be able to get into something that they wanted to do. And I was part of that. So I was part of that first step in the military saying, come on through, everybody's welcome. And it was really a neat thing in my life to say I was part of that. Once again, that steered me to wanting to do more. Since I came to Palm Springs, I worked with the council. I've worked as a member of my neighborhood, the Desert Highlands Gateway Estates community. It's a downtrodden area. I fondly call it the hood. And that's okay because they let me do that. It's a tough neighborhood, but the people there have hearts of gold. They just don't get the breaks that they always deserve to get. And I work with them, do my best. On the CDBG Block Grant Fund, I make sure that everybody gets a fair shake, that everybody gets a shot. As a disabled veteran, I work for veterans advocacies and parts that I can do to my best of my abilities. As you know, it's a tough life out there. I mean, personally, You know, I'm fighting things myself. I'm getting ready to, they're trying to put a foreclosure on my house, but we're going to stop it. We're going to make it happen. But it's taught me how to handle that and how to teach other people how to handle that, because in my neighborhood, there's still a lot of that happening. So I've learned another lesson. I'm always learning, I'm always giving, because this is a great city, and I've already said that, and I've told the council that many times. My God, there's no city like this in the world. There really isn't. And to be part of it is just an amazing, amazing feeling. We're all very, very lucky. In every way we can, we're all very lucky because we're here and we can be part of it. And every one of you has just done such a wonderful job, and we'll continue on. With the 5 boys I claim, the 6 grandkids and counting, my 3 dogs, my neighbors and friends, I love you. Thank you so much. To the council, thank you, believe in it. My wife, I love you. Thank you.
Oh, I almost didn't recognize him without his Air Force cap today.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, we are almost there, people. Does this not make you proud? Are you proud? Okay, show of hands. Who had a good time? I did. Okay, there's cameras on for the people whose hands aren't up. Just so you know. Anybody here inspired to do something that maybe they thought they couldn't do or they couldn't bother to do? Anybody inspired? I like that. And now, how many people here commit to being at the Human Rights Commission meeting on Monday, March 14th? There we go. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. I want to thank and bless the award winners. You touch me, you touch all of us. That's amazing. Thank you for being in the audience. I love that people were excited. I want to thank these beautiful fellow commissioners with whom I've had the honor and the pleasure of working for several years. And I want to thank the mayor and Jeff Coors and the city of Palm Springs. And I am totally going to steal Mark's quote. There is no city like this in the world. To our award recipients, I ask you to please come to the stage for a group photo. To everybody else, I say, have a fantastic day.
Hey, just an announcement for everybody is welcome to the after ceremony reception at 849. Everybody's welcome. They're doing hors d'oeuvres. It's a no-host bar, but if you want to meet some of the honorees and the awardees, please join us.
Congratulations.
Excellent job. You did great. It was incredible. Oh my God, you were so smooth.
I now adjourn the Human Rights Commission meeting at 4 p.m.